Welcome! In this video, we will present a few safety measures we can take to prevent possible problems when going to work in Austria. The information in this video is based on the most common problems encountered in the industry and should be understood as recommendations. What do I need to know before going to work in Austria? Before we begin, a reminder. The care sector is just like any other sector of work, where standards of transparency, clarity, and fairness must be respected. Do not agree to leave unless you are given all the information about your future job. Information starts at home. Preventive measures against workplace problems or abuse should be taken in your home country. In this video, we handle the following topics. How do I prepare for getting a job? What activities are covered by 24-hour care? What important contacts do I need to have when working in Austria? Let's take them one by one. How do I prepare for getting a job? We recommend 4 important steps to take before signing the contract with the agency, the person requiring care, or their relatives. Step 1. Presentation of your professional activity. Make sure you have all the necessary paperwork to present your care services to your collaborators in the most professional and well-organized way. Prepare the following documents and present them to your colleagues, preferably in German. Your CV, summarizing your professional experience. Diplomas of certificates for industry-relevant training, language courses, and so on. Letters of recommendation from previous jobs. Proof of self-employment registration, Gewerbe, in Austria, if applicable. Step 2. Selection of collaborators. 24-hour care staff are free to choose their collaborators. Either they work directly with the person requiring care or their relatives, or they contract an agency to intermediate a job. Working with the family or person requiring care. If I work directly with the person requiring care or their family, I will sign only one contract, the care contract, in German Betreuungsvertrag. The client must provide me with all the details about accommodation, meals, transport, fees, and the state of health of the person requiring care. What is the minimum fee I want, gross and/or net? How is payment on public holidays regulated? Which care services do I offer and which do I not want to offer? How many days does the shift last, in German Turnus? What are my requirements concerning working hours, rest hours, night on-call hours, and daytime break hours? What are my conditions for accommodation and meals? How is transport organized and paid for? How is the payment of social and health insurance, SVS, of care staff carried out? How is staff replacement organized? What is the protocol in case of emergencies? Under what conditions does the collaboration between carer and client end? Working with an agency. Before contracting an agency, it is very important to make sure that the agency is registered and operating in accordance with the law. If the agency is registered in Austria, you can check the company details in the online register of the Austrian Chamber of Commerce, WKO. Once you know all the details, you will sign 2 contracts. One with the agency, in German Organisationsvertrag, Vermittlungsvertrag, and the second with the person requiring care or their family, in German Betreuungsvertrag. IG24 recommends. A reputable agency will provide you with the standard contracts they work with in advance so you can study them carefully. Do not leave without knowing in detail what contracts are you about to sign. In order to protect yourself in case of future problems, always ask for the contract in bilingual form, not only in German and not only in your native language. Step 3. Negotiating and setting the general terms and conditions of future employment. During the negotiation process, you will consider clarifying the following points: details of the agency and contract person, full name, address, telephone, email, and so on. Services offered by the agency and related commissions. The existence of a binding power of attorney in the contract. In German, Vollmacht, Inkassovollmacht. EG 24 does not recommend signing powers of attorney for collaborators. If this is nevertheless necessary, you can limit the validity of the power of attorney to a fixed number of days. The fee, gross net, of the carer, the method of payment, cash, bank transfer, and the date on which the fee will be paid, family, agency. EG 24 recommends that the fee be paid by the family or the person requiring care directly to the 24-hour care staff. Payment of social and health contributions, SVS. Arranging and paying for transport to and from work. Warning: transporters are required by law to provide you with your ticket, receipt, or another proof of payment. Inclusion of liability insurance in the contract. Contract termination clauses and definition of the notice period. Other recommendations: negotiate the content of contracts before signing them. Working conditions are always negotiated in writing, so by email or messenger or WhatsApp applications, so that you have clear evidence in case problems arise in the future. Write down clauses in the contract that you don't understand or don't agree with. You have the right to check contracts, including with the help of a lawyer or legal expert. If there are clauses you do not agree with, ask for them to be changed or removed from the contract before you sign it. Do not sign a contract if you don't understand the content or if you haven't had enough time to read it. Do not sign blank sheets. Step 4. The checklist. Before you leave the country for work, you should not forget contract details of the agency, contact details of the workplace, name and surname of the person requiring care or family, phone number and email address, the town, postcode and land where you will be working. How do you get to your destination? Copies of identity documents, copies of the trade license, Gewerbe, if applicable. Cash in case of emergencies. Warning: do not pass on company registration papers and identity papers. If the agency or the patient's family asks you for these documents, you will always provide only copies. Originals should always remain in your possession. What activities are covered by 24/24 care? In Austria, you will officially work as a 24/24 carer, Personenbetreuung, not as a nursing care provider, Pflegeperson. 24-hour care for the elderly, called 24-Stunden-Betreuung, involves assisting and accompanying the person requiring care in their daily routine. Here are some examples of simple companion care activities you can do. Household services: shopping, cooking, cleaning, and housekeeping. Carrying out simple housework and running errands, airing the house, caring for plants and pets, and laundry, washing, ironing, mending, and so on. Support in everyday life. Organization of the daily schedule, help with the client's daily activities. Companion activities. Providing company to the person requiring care, having a conversation with them, keeping social contracts, accompanying them to various social activities or appointments. Practical training for people in need of care for a change of place, for example in the case of leave or temporary hospitalization. Keep a household register, in German Haushaltsbuch, with a record of all expenses incurred on behalf of the person requiring care and keep it for a period of 2 years. The following are examples of specialized care activities. Pflegerische Tätigkeit, which will only be carried out if there are no medical or health reasons for not doing so. Helping the person with oral feeding and hydration as well as taking medication. Help with body care. Help with dressing and undressing. Help with using the toilet or toilet seat, including support with changing incontinence products. Help with standing up, sitting in bed, sitting in a chair, as well as moving and transferring. You may only carry out nursing activities if they have been prescribed and designated by a written medical order, a medical delegation, issued by a doctor or a qualified nurse. Administration of drugs, subcutaneous insulin injections, and subcutaneous injections of anticoagulant drugs. Applying and changing bandages and dressings. Capillary blood sampling to measure blood glucose levels. Simple applications of phototherapy or thermotherapy. Warning: this list is only indicative. You have the right as an independent carer to refuse to perform unwanted tasks or nursing tasks. If you carry out nursing activities without a written delegation, you risk an administrative fine of up to 3,600 euros. Dialogue partners in Austria. For questions, advice and support, you can contact the following associations and institutions. IG24 represents the professional interest of 20-hour carers. You can contact us on our website www.ig24.at or via email at contact@ig24.at. This video is part of the project Unsere Arbeit, Unsere Rechte, supported by funds from the Digitalisierungs Fond Arbeit 4.0 of the Arbeiterkammer Wien.